So we finally left the harbor in Marathon and we sailed all the way down to Little Torch Key in Newfound Harbor. Now we've been here a few times, but this is actually the furthest south that we've sailed. So when we head out of here and go to Key West, that will be the furthest we've gone. So that's really exciting. We had a pretty good sail today. We had about 10 to 20 knots of wind. It fluctuated quite a bit through the day, and anywhere from 2 to like 5 or a couple of like 6-foot waves. So that's bigger waves than we were in a lot of times when we were motoring, but now that we're sailing more, the sails really keep the boat more steady, so it wasn't very it wasn't super uncomfortable. It was pretty good sail. We did it in 6 hours completely, but that's from getting off of our mooring to going to a dock and getting fuel, and then actually coming into the harbor here. So most of the time we were averaging about 4 to 5 knots. And we saw some pretty cool wildlife, some manatees, a bunch of dolphins. But it was pretty overcast the whole day, and just a nice beginning to our journey. This is a pretty nice harbor to be in. It's really, really big though, so it takes a while to get to anything. If you're staying here long term, it takes a really long time to get to where you need to. But for staying, it feels really exclusive because there's no boats around you at all. You do have a lot of boats coming through here, fishing boats and stuff, so there'll be a little bit of wake throughout the day. The nights are pretty nice though, so we're going to hang out with a friend tomorrow and then hopefully be off to Key West.
Hi, my name's Micah, and this is my wife Grace and our 2 kids, Gabriel and Alana. We saw them growing up fast and wanted to see the world while they were still with us. So we fixed up a 37-foot aluminum catamaran, have been living on it for almost 2 years now. We've added Cypher to our family since we started. We've been exploring the oceans and reefs of the Florida Keys, but are getting ready to explore more of the Caribbean.
Right after we fix up our hurricane-damaged Leopard 48.
Join us as we share more of our adventures with you.
We are just chilling out on the deck. Gabriel just flew his drone and Cypher found that super interesting. Like, what's this giant bug we're all watching? But yeah, we have the next month off. We just sailed down from our mooring ball in Marathon. So we came out of the harbor, it was like 20 knot winds, and when we got here it was like 10, maybe less. But kind of windy, kind of a bit of current coming into the harbor. We saw a bunch of dolphins and 3 manatees. When we got started at the fueling dock, Alana saw 3 manatees. So it's pretty shallow right here, so we're not going for a swim. I'm really looking forward to the Marquesas and the Dry Tortugas and snorkeling and swimming. But it's really nice to get to know the boat finally and like sail it and just talking, working as a team, having all new shiny rigging. We had like a little rope break earlier, and Gabriel knew the exact right knot to splice it together for the head sail. So that was pretty great seeing like his knowledge coming into play.
Earlier today we were just sailing like normal, and we were gonna move over the head sail, which was we were gonna do that. And as we were bringing it over though, the rope just like, here, I'll just show you. It like split apart in this weird way. Like, the strings inside just pulled out and this outside part snapped. So then what I just did was, I just tied a bag of bend to another rope so that we can still fly the jib.
That we have a friend that lives here, and we'll probably hang out with her tomorrow before we head down to Key West or a little group of islands just south of Key West. And it's been raining on and off, so just before we came into the harbor, you could see all these huge rainstorms coming, but we were only going 1 knot because we were at the wind and there was current. Almost head to wind, and there was a bunch of current coming out, so it was we had to take down sails and stuff, and we missed it, so that was pretty good timing. I don't know, hopefully we see some luminescence or something in the bay. The family's seen that here before.
We have just seen bioluminescence in the water, and it's regular. We've been seeing bioluminescence here, and it's actually really cool. Since we think there might be jellyfish, or I think there might be squids too, but they just poof up this weird light or something, and it's green.
So we left Newfound Harbor this morning. Well, it was afternoon before we left because we were waiting to hang out with one of our friends, but it didn't end up working out. But before that, this morning, I ended up taking apart our water maker and putting it back together and redoing some of the seals. I was supposed to get it fixed, but they didn't have the parts, and I just had some spare parts that I put in to make sure that we can have a water maker for our trip. Because we're going to be about a day trip at least from Key West, which would be the first place we can get water. And I don't want to every week have to go back to Key West and fill up. So it's exciting that that's working, so we can actually stay out in Marquesas and Dry Tortugas for as long as we want, really. It's been pretty good sailing today, about 15 knots to begin with, but then it dropped down as low as 5 for a while. And we're just doing a really short run, about 16 miles in order to just get closer. I think we're just going to anchor here tonight and then go to Boca Grande, which is kind of the last sandbar island that a lot of people in Key West go to before the Marquesas. So yeah, that's what today has been so far. Pretty chill day.
So today we just got into the new harbor, and I'm gonna go into the kayak and paddle over to the mangroves and try fishing some snapper. Hopefully I catch some. And I'm gonna be using a tiny squid end. I already tried fishing on the side of the boat and I got something, but it got off the hook. So hopefully I go catch some over near the mangroves where I'm gonna go. So we just got into the new harbor that we're gonna be in for the night, and we saw all these mangroves over here, and we thought that's a great opportunity to do some fishing. So I have this little thing, and we're using chicken as bait. Alana is over there in the kayak, going out to the mangroves, and I'm gonna fish just over here in the channel.
On this trip, we're headed to the Dry Tortugas And we found some amazing things there. I ended up making an entire coloring book just about the dry tortugas. You can find it on Amazon, link in the description below. We show you where to go snorkeling in the book, but also just show you some of the amazing fish and the facts we learned about the place.